I can't believe my luck today. I left home and it was thick cloud and rain, pretty miserable. I was heading towards the North Pennines. It could only get worse. However, I'm wrong. It's beautiful. It's lots of blue sky, a little bit cloud. Still going to be wet underfoot, but I've got the perfect shoe for that today. I've got the Ronhill Reverence. It's a brand new shoe. The Ronhill just brought the Reverence and the Freedom. This is the Reverence. This is a more aggressive sole. It has a 7mm lug on the bottom. It has a 5mm drop, and the stack height is 28mm as well. You might have noticed I was reading just on the side of the shoe there. It has all the details. I really like that. I wish more shoes would do the same. It just makes things a lot easier rather than trying to go online and find out where everything is. Anyway, the shoe itself is a really strong upper. It's a matrix upper, so it's a strong, tough, durable upper. If you can see the sort of weave on that, looks really nice and strong. The heel cup has like a brushed fabric on the inside, so I'm hoping that means it's going to grip onto my heel, because I do have quite a lot of heel slippage when I run. So before, the lug is 7mm deep, and as you can probably see, it's a Michelin rubber as well, so it should be a good hard wearing rubber. Things I've noticed is the toe box, nice and strong toe box again for kicking stones. The tongue is really unusual. So rather than the tongue that sits up here, they just pull and slot into place. It's like I think they call it like a burrito tongue. So it's like two sections to it. Both very porous. There's holes through it, so it'll drain fast and dry quick. But one thing I'm really liking, I've never seen before, is in the tongue you can just see the lace goes through a loop on the side there. So what it means is when you fasten your shoes, it's just going to pull that tongue and hold it tight, so there'll be no slipping or slide inside of there as well. It's the first time I've tried a shoe like that, so I'll be really interested to see how it goes. The only thing is, it feels a little bit stiffer than the type of shoe this would. So the lug would suggest a really light, flexible sort of fell shoe. It's a bit stiffer than that. However, I'm planning to wear this for like longer runs, so I think that's probably a good thing. There isn't an extra hole here for lock lacing, but the heel does sit in really nice, and like I mentioned before, that brushed fabric seems to hold the heel, so perhaps I might not even need that.
Just like the wide-winged dove sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Just like the wide-winged dove sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Ooh, baby, ooh, say ooh. And the days go by like a strand in the wind, in the web that is blown. I begin again, said to my friend, baby, nothing else matters. He was no more than a baby then. Well, he seemed broken hearted, something within him. But the moment that I first lay all alone on the edge of 17.
Well, that's me back from a run. I did 17 miles in total. First time in a pair of the Ronhill shoes, and they were fantastic. They worked really well. Obviously, when you wear a new shoe, you always worry about, you know, are you going to get blisters? Is it going to be nipping? Any rubbing? There's none of that whatsoever. Me personally, my heel often slips inside the shoe. There's no slippage on the heel at all. It's held really well. I had a concern that there wasn't a final hole so I could do any lock lacing, but I didn't need to do that at all. The laces were nice and thin, so when I fastened them, really like nipped in tight and held well. I ran through bogs, marshes, stony ground, a few road sections, and the shoe caught really well. Didn't feel as though I was going to lose my shoe at any point. It is a fell shoe, so on the road sections did feel a bit harsh, but you know, it wasn't uncomfortable by any means. But I wouldn't be choosing to do lots of roads in the shoe anyway. Excuse me. Another concern I had was, you know, the fabric. It's very tough, very durable, so that can stiffen the fabric sometimes, and I was a bit worried in case that was going to have any awkward sort of creases or folds, but no, it was perfectly okay as well. The grip was superb, descending on muddy paths, tracks, stony ground, yeah, the grip was really good, so I'm really happy with that shoe.